What's up YouTube, it's Ravlar here and welcome to the third episode of Runescape 3 Tips and Tricks. So, if you guys missed it, I recently hit 1000 subscribers and to celebrate I'm doing 5 videos in 5 days. This is day 2, so if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you do so you can see the juicy content which I have for you guys in the next few days. Anyway, real quick before we get started with this week's tips and tricks, as much as I love doing my research and making these videos, I am starting to kind of run out of these tips and tricks and I have enough for a couple of more episodes maybe, but if you guys have anything you want to share that will help the community out, please join my Discord down below and let me know. I have a specified chat just for tips and tricks. In fact, you should just join anyway. We've got an awesome community there. I'd love to see you as a part of it. Anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video, guys. I'll see you at the end. Today's first tip is to do with the developer console and a specific command to do with that. So for those of you that don't know, if you press Alt and I don't know what that key is called, but if you could let me know down in the comments, I'd appreciate it. Anyway, if you press those two keys, you open up the developer console. Now here, if you type in display FPS, you get a little motherboard on the top right. What this shows you is how your game is performing on your computer. For example, you can see what FPS you have, you can see how much ping you have, etc. Now to remove it, all you need to do is just open up the developer console again and type in display FPS, and then it's gone. But something which not many people do know is if they just want to see the FPS and they don't want that chunky thing blocking up half the screen, what you can do is you can open the developer console and just type in display FPS small, all in one word, and then you have a nice little neat line at the top of your screen which shows you what your FPS is. And yeah, it's much neater than the other one, so make sure that you go ahead and use this every time you want to check that out. Next up, after completing tasks and task sets within the game, you actually get a secret amount of GP which is not delivered to you there and then. But you can claim this GP by going to Lumbridge and speaking to Explorer Jack, who is in the building next to the general store. Now the amount of GP you'll get is based on the amount of tasks you have completed within game. There is an item in game called the Dwarven Army Axe, and it's a somewhat forgotten about item. However, it is actually quite useful when it comes to cooking. So to get your hands on this axe, all you need to do is teleport to Berthorpe Lodestone and then go speak to the Major and ask for some free stuff. You can actually become a beggar, but this time it pays off. He'll give you one for absolutely free. Now, this item has a bunch of useless features, but it has one very useful feature, and that is every time you successfully cook a piece of food, you get a +3 bonus XP. Now, it may not sound like a lot at first glance, but if you think about it, you're cooking around 50 to 60k food to 99. And what this will do is it will basically give you a free 180k XP. So that's great, and it stacks with a sous chef outfit as well, so that's even better. When you're collecting fruit during your farm runs, a nice little tip is to spam click the fruit tree as fast as you can, because you collect the fruit much faster. Now this also works with cactuses and mushrooms, so there's a nice little tip to save you some time. In an earlier episode, I explained how the damage boost from the Stone of Jazz works. Basically, you enter the Glacial Cave by using the Fairy Ring DKQ, and you get a lasting damage boost in certain areas of the map. Earlier, I said it was very useful in Godwall's Dungeon 1. Another area where it's very useful is in the Wilderness. So every time you do some PVM in the Wilderness, make sure to get this boost. Admittedly, the boost is 3% instead of 5%, but it still makes a big difference. So, for example, if you're killing lava strike worms, this is awesome, or if you're camping revenants, this is also very useful. With items like the Bone Crusher, Charming Imp, Demon Horn Necklace, Amulet of Zealots, and recent additions like the Permanent Gold Accumulator, the Dungeoneering Shop has some very lucrative rewards. If you need some tokens to buy some of these rewards and you don't want to do DG or Elite Dungeons, a very quick way of getting your hands on some is by destroying some old dungeoneering equipment that you may have lying around. For example, the Chaotic Maul was very good when it was first released, but nowadays it's just a shitty tier 80 weapon and it has very little use in game, if none. So, if you destroy the Chaotic Maul, you'll get refunded half your tokens you spent on it, and this is applied to all dungeoneering items. So if you have any Chaotix or some dungeoneering shields lying around, make sure to destroy them and use those tokens elsewhere. Next up, I have some very useful tips to do with world hopping. So first of all, you can actually open the world hop menu by right clicking your world map and selecting that option. Now, something which not that many people actually know about is at the bottom of this little interface you have world hop settings. Clicking on this opens up the options for loot share worlds and non-member worlds. You can actually filter these on or off as you wish. However, the most awesome setting by far on this menu is the option to toggle off the confirmation message you get whenever you hop worlds. Now, I highly recommend that you toggle this off, because otherwise every time you hop a world you get an annoying little pop-up, and yeah, that just slows you down. So turn this off and you'll save a bunch of time and you can thank me later. My final tip on world hopping is to do with server ping. Now, as I'm sure you're all aware, your ping differs based on the RuneScape world you play on and your in real life location. So to actually see the pings of the different worlds, you have to actually exit the lobby. You can't see it in game. Once you're in lobby, click on the World Select tab. Once you're on this tab, hit refresh and you should have an updated value of all the different worlds and their respective ping for you. Now, something which I recommend that you do is that you favorite a world with a relatively low ping, and every time you do some high level dangerous PVM like Telos, make sure you go on this world. Now, I've personally found that this helped a lot because you need that extra millisecond of reaction time, and any sort of delay can kill you. So hopefully this tip saves you a few trips to Death's office. Recently, Magic Notepaper has become available in-game through Invention. Now, to make Magic Notepaper, one of the components you need is an Elder Log. Now, Elder Logs are quite rare because they're not actually on any monster drop tables. So, the only way you can really get it is by woodcutting. However, there is another way, and you can actually access this if you completed the Tyrannwyn Elite Diaries. Once you've done this, you can come every day to Collodion and persuade him. You can choose to burn him or tickle him or whatever, it doesn't really matter. He will fill your inventory with a random selection of logs. And every day you can expect a few Elder Logs. Sometimes you can get lucky and get a full inventory of them, and this really adds up. Naturally, since Elder Logs are a component of Magic Notepaper, they are very expensive on the GE now, and they are going to continue to rise. So hopefully this daily will make you some money in the long term. So guys, this week's tip of the week is to do with potion decanting. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably have a very messy bank full of loads of 1 doses and 2 doses and 3 doses and 4 doses and 5 doses of potions just lying around, not being used, just taking up bank space. Now, normally what I do is I will withdraw them one by one. So for example, I'd type in Saradomin Brew, withdraw the low doses, and I'll type in Super Restore, do the same, etc, etc, etc. And when I go and decant them, it's good, it's great, but when I come back to the bank, I often find that I have a bunch of lower doses which I have forgotten because I forgot to search the potion name. Now, this is very annoying, but there is a very easy and nifty little trick which you can use to avoid this completely. So, whenever you're searching for doses of potions or flasks to decant, instead of typing the potion name like Saradomin Brew, you can type in brackets 1 dose. So just type in the brackets and 1, and every single 1 dose potion will appear. Now, of course, this works for 2, 3, 4 and 5 doses respectively, and this way you can guarantee that you'll never ever miss a potion out when you're decanting it, and you'll save a lot of bank space. Well, boys, girls, and Apache helicopters, thank you for making it so far in the video. I really appreciate it. Hopefully one of these tips and tricks helped you out. If it did, let me know which one did down below. Now, as I mentioned in the start, if you have anything you'd like to share, and if you just want to join an awesome community, please just join my Discord down below. I'd love to talk to you in there. Anyway, guys, this is the second day of the 5-day video marathon, and I'll be back tomorrow with an Iron Man episode. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode, and have a fabulous day, a fabulous week, and I'll see you tomorrow. To the outro. Do 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 do.